The 90-Day Fiancé franchise built its empire on the logistical hurdles of international immigration. By 2026, the format had evolved. The cameras stopped documenting the struggles of obtaining a K-1 visa and began capturing the active, agonizing collapse of the relationships they helped create. For its third season, the spin-off 90 Day: The Last Resort relocated its participants to Thornbury Castle, an isolated estate nestled in the English countryside. The Tudor-era fortress carries specific historical weight. It was once owned by King Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn, designed structurally to keep the outside world at a secure distance. The network heavily marketed the season as an intensive therapeutic retreat. In practice, placing couples within these stone walls strips away their domestic routines and organic support systems. Without access to friends or family, the participants become entirely dependent on the production crew. The result is a highly observed environment engineered to extract and amplify emotional distress for television. Consider the dynamic between Shekinah and Sarper. Throughout their time in the franchise and across social media, their relationship is often framed as a consensual, dominant, and submissive lifestyle choice. Behavioral psychology defines coercive control as a systematic pattern of behavior that uses dominance and intimidation to strip a partner of their personal autonomy. Sarper's on-camera actions closely mirror this clinical definition. He enforces strict diet rules, dictates her body weight, and actively manages cosmetic decisions like her specific lipstick color. A core tactic of coercive control is isolation. Shekinah has severed ties with her immediate family, including her sister, leaving her emotionally dependent on Sarper. Moving this existing dynamic into the lockdown environment of Thornbury Castle removes whatever minimal lifelines Shekinah might have retained back home. When a person is completely cut off from their organic support networks, their ability to maintain personal boundaries rapidly degrades. By broadcasting these specific patterns of control and framing them as a quirky, dramatic storyline, the franchise monetizes psychological abuse and presents it to millions of viewers as light entertainment. The ethical boundaries of the production face an even harsher test with Jenny and Sumit Singh. The couple entered the castle carrying the weight of severe familial rejection and the financial stress of a failed joint business. Hidden off-camera was a far more severe reality. In December 2025, Jenny was diagnosed with bulbar amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. This timeline illustrates the progression of bulbar ALS, a fatal neurodegenerative disease attacking the brainstem and destroying speech functions. Life expectancy is 2 to 5 years. Mapping the Season 3 production schedule here shows it perfectly aligns with her onset. She was suffering while filming. Jenny experienced painful migraines, slurred speech, and episodes of choking on set. Simultaneously, the production continued to push the couple into manufactured, high-stress relationship ultimatums. Following the diagnosis, longtime viewers noted the couple's previous business failures and the high cost of ALS treatment. For many, her appearance on the show began to look less like a romantic retreat and more like a public performance to fund her own end-of-life care. Subjecting a terminally ill woman to a manufactured conflict zone obliterates any remaining distinction between reality television and the direct exploitation of human suffering. This approach to participant welfare reflects a broader crisis across the reality television landscape in 2026, highlighted by severe sexual assault allegations emerging from the set of Married at First Sight UK. The industry relies almost entirely on a reactive welfare model. Production companies keep psychologists on retainer, but intervention only happens if a cast member formally reports feeling unsafe. In an isolated, high-pressure environment where producers confiscate communication devices, participants rarely report trauma in real time. They are often paralyzed by the fear of legal retaliation or receiving a negative editorial edit. This places viewers in a compromising position. The audience is trained to tune in for lighthearted drama about age gaps, only to find themselves consuming serialized, real-world medical and psychological trauma. A genuine duty of care cannot exist within a business model that relies on escalating human distress to secure its ratings. The structural climax of The Last Resort is the final commitment ceremony. Couples are forced to stand before cameras and either renew their vows or end their relationship permanently. The authenticity of this choice is heavily compromised. The network and its production companies control the participants' contracts, their exposure, and ultimately their financial survival. Financial dependency binds vulnerable participants to these high-stress environments, rendering any on-camera choices about their future essentially hollow. The fracture of these real-world marriages is a difficult reality for the people involved. The greater tragedy is the existence of an industrial machine engineered specifically to harvest that pain. The inclusion of terminal illness and psychological dominance as primary plot points changes the nature of the genre. It leaves the audience to decide if these programs are still entertainment or a record of human exploitation.